everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and today we are going to be doing some meditation. That's typically what we do in a meditation stream, right? It makes a lot of sense. You come to a meditation stream, you get some meditation. First off, how is everyone doing today? It is 7:56 p.m. Chicago time. That's Central time. And yeah, just chilling here and drinking some lemon water today. I hope everyone's doing well. Today was, I don't know, kind of a weird day for me. Had a few appointments early in the day, did some day trading, and then helped my parents with some tech issues. I got a new computer for my dad and I got it all set up today over at his house. So that was a pretty big thing for him. You know, his computer was running real slow, and it was an old dinosaur of a computer. So it's going to help him a lot. So I feel pretty good about that. And then let's see what else. Yeah, I got to spend time with my folks, which was nice. You know, I haven't I barely seen them since COVID hit. They're very cautious about you know, who they see and whatnot. Even though we're all vaccinated, you know, and I don't blame them. They're old, you know. The people who are vulnerable got to be super cautious, right? So you know, now that, you know, we're all vaccinated and they have the booster shots and all that. They invited me over, and I was able to come over and help them out with the tech issues. So that was good. Other than that, it's just been a day of organization. I've been getting a lot of things organized. I feel that a lot of things in my life have kind of gotten disorganized in the last year and a half. I don't know. Since the pandemic hit, things have kind of fallen a little to the wayside. I'm someone who likes to keep a lot of order in my life. I like to have everything in its, you know, a given place where I know where it's at any given time. I like to have things just straightened and in line. Oh, this is kind of a weird thing. I actually front things in my refrigerator, right? Like, you know, if you go to a grocery store, you know, people typically front the things on the shelves. I front things in my fridge, and I know where everything's at. The idea is I want to be able to walk over there with a blindfold to my fridge and just grab whatever I want, and not even need to be able to see. It's just a weird thing I got in the habit of doing a long time ago, but I like it. It makes for a nice aesthetic appearance when you open up your fridge. I wonder how many other people do that though. How many other people like front items in their fridge? And I also space things out at distances that make them easily accessible. I've noticed, like, if there's something far back in the recesses of the back corners of the fridge, I'm much less likely to actually grab it. It's weird. Also, if I have like items that are like wrapped up in, like, you know, packaging, I'm much less likely to, you know, grab them and open up the packaging. I don't know. It's like a weird psychological thing. But if things are easily accessible, if I can just, you know, reach in there and grab whatever item I want, I grab it, and it's no issue. I think it's kind of like with water. I try to keep water in every room, and if I do so, I'm more likely to drink it. You know, if I see a glass that's right there, right next to me, I'm more likely to take a sip, as opposed to, you know, not having a glass and having to run downstairs and grab a glass of water. You know, so I don't know. I think that's that's probably true to some extent for most people. If most people, you know, see a glass of water by them, they're more likely to drink it than if they don't. But who knows? Maybe I'm the only one who's like that. All right. Well, tomorrow should be a pretty cool day for me. I'm going to head out to a hippie fest of sorts. It should be pretty cool. Some friends of mine are putting on a show in the evening, and then we're going to be doing arts and crafts and yoga and meditation and all sorts of stuff throughout the day. They even have a chess board set up, and I'm going to go and maybe give some chess lessons. And I have these chess piece keychains that I give out to my students. I'm a chess instructor, for those you don't know, and so I'm going to be giving out chess piece keychains to people, and we're going to paint them up, make them look nice and colorful, and give them out to everyone. So it should be fun. All right, well, without further ado, let's just jump right into the meditation, I guess, because that's why we're here, right? So you're going to want to get in a nice, comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged with your back against the wall, or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And then once you're sitting down with good posture, you're going to want to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths on your own. And I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds. And it's a great tool to help you utilize a nice, slow, regular breath count. So take a few more deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, lightly raising your belly. Exhale, lightly lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Focus on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Return your focus to your breath. For the next part of the meditation, visualize a golden orb, radiating golden light directly in front of you. The cylindrical orb shines light equally out in every direction. You can feel the warmth from this light. Keep your attention on this orb. You feel the warmth from the orb warming the front of your body. It heals and nourishes all your skin cells. It penetrates through your skin into your core, and you feel its beautiful embrace as it envelops you in its light. Focus on the orb. The outer contours of the light expand, completely surrounding your body, and you feel the perfect love emanating from this orb. You feel it melt into your being, and you become one with that love. Focus on the orb. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, lightly raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lightly lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on top of a mountain, quietly resting in lotus pose, watching the clouds move through the sky beneath you. Two clouds merge into one, and one cloud separates into two. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist for a while in conscious awareness, and then disappear from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. You are not the sum collection of your thoughts. For your foundational essence is love. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eye sight. Stay focused on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And return your awareness to your breath count. For the next part of this meditation, we're going to do one of the oldest forms of meditation. We're going to do a waterfall visualization. Maintaining good posture, visualize warm water pouring down over your head. The water heals as it flows down your body. It heals every cell in your being, and you are comforted by its presence. The water has many healing properties. You feel the water pour down over your forehead, down your face and neck, down your shoulders and arms. The water flows down your chest and upper back, down your belly and mid-back, to your lower legs and feet. And it gently flows off your toes. As you sit in the waterfall, you contemplate on the nature of water and how your body is mostly composed of that same substance. You become one with the water and one with the waterfall. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Stay focused on your breath. For the final part of the meditation, we're going to do a chi energy visualization, which will relax the body and help you release any stress or tension in your vessel. Inhale through your nose, visualizing healing chi flowing in, and exhale through your mouth, visualize negative energy flowing out. And breathe in through your nose, watching golden chi heal every cell, and exhale through your mouth, purging your body of any negativity. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing any distracting thoughts from your being. Inhale. Exhale, releasing any ego that binds you to this dualistic framework. Inhale, feeling the love and oneness flow into your body. Exhale, releasing any toxins from your system. Breathe in, feeling that golden chi flood your body. Breathe out, releasing all that would bind you to this illusion. Stay focused on this visualization. With every breath you take, you purify and cleanse your body. The golden chi flows in through your nose, healing every cell. And as you exhale, all the toxins are released through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all ego from your mind. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your body. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath. With every breath you take, your relaxation deepens. As you breathe in peace and exhale impurities. Stress and tension has no home in your body or mind. And on each inhale, you release more and more of that residual stress and tension. And with each inhale, you breathe in more positivity into your being. Such that with each breath cycle, you become nourished, complete, and whole once again. Inhale, deepening your relaxation. Exhale, releasing all ego that would keep you stressful. Breathe in, allowing love and light to flood your body. Breathe out, releasing any fear and worry from your mind. You radiate the purest love. For pure love is your foundational essence. You choose to identify with the purest love. And by doing so, enter a state of perfect monism. Letting go of all the ego that binds you to this illusory dualistic framework. Perception dissolves and you see through your third eye. And you witness reality for the first time. For ego can blind you no more. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath. Take the deepest inhale of the day, filling your body with love and light. And the deepest exhale of the day, releasing all stress and tension from your vessel. And the deepest inhale of the day, allowing that peace to flood your system. And the deepest exhale of the day, releasing all fear and worry. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me and sharing the sacred space. I hope you truly got some peace and love out of this meditation, and that you feel better now than you did prior to the meditation. I'm honored and humbled to be here as your meditation servant. Thank you. All right, how was that for everyone? How was that? I hope you all found some peace there. Swiss R, you're here. Wonderful. Good to see you. Yeah, namaste to you too, brother. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Swiss R is a wonderful streamer here on Twitch in the fitness and health community. Let me give him a shout out. Definitely check him out if you haven't and drop him a follow. He does primarily travel streams, and they're really cool. He walks around Switzerland to these beautiful picturesque scenic landscapes, and shows us stuff that we can't get around my area. I look out my window, I see concrete. He looks out his window and he sees beauty. So definitely check out his streams. Oh, look who's here. We got let's see, who else is here? Conjure Inc. 85. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here for this meditation. It's always a pleasure to see you around. I'm happy that you got something out of this meditation. And JT Farms, much needed session. Thank you for your guidance, Agni James. Well, thank you. I'm here for you. I'm simply here to teach what I know about meditation, and I'm grateful that you tuned in for the stream. You're always a positive influence, and you're the channel shaman. You keep the energy good. Without you, I don't know what would happen. You're the number one supporter of the channel. So thank you so much, JT. Well, unconditional love for you. And then One Sluggy. Hey, look at this. We got a lot. We got a lot of good people here today. One Sluggy, I hope you are well today. Great to see you again. We just we didn't do much talking at the beginning of the stream. We just kind of hopped into the meditation today, because I feel sometimes talk is cheap, and sometimes it's just better to get into the work and do the work, and then we all can benefit from it that way, right? All right, yeah, there's the new boom command. We got the new boom command in play. I love it. I love it so far. We'll see how it goes, though. It's still in its trial run. I don't know if I'm going to have to get rid of it at some point. Let me see if I missed anything else in chat. Let's see. Roko Hemda, my brother, since I was 5 years old, man. I've known this guy since I was 5, and he pops in and comes and checks out the stream. It's pretty awesome. He's a real good dude. And look at this. DJ Krishans is here, too. Wonderful. Yeah, Imbalanced Physique, otherwise known as John. He's a man of many names. Let me give him a shout out. Balanced. There we go. All right, we're getting things in order here. I love how I always do the double shout outs, I think that's I think I'm the only person that does that. Imbalanced deserves a double shout out. He's been doing some really cool tarot streams. Any of you who are into tarot, definitely check it out. He just got a bunch of brand new awesome decks with beautiful artwork, and the sayings and the words are so insightful, and he's super intuitive. He knows he can feel that energy when he reads those cards, and he can connect with people really well. Really, just an authentic, genuine guy. Definitely check him out and check out his streams. I always do. So, all right. And Victor Soar. Wow, everyone just keeps popping in. Hey, Victor Soar, good to see you, brother. I hope you're well today. Hope all is well. Um, yeah, we're just wrapping things up right now. Well, and like I said, we didn't do much talking at the beginning because I just kind of wanted to delve into the meditation today. So yeah, every day is going to be different. Some days we'll talk more. We'll do more philosophy at the beginning, and some days we'll just primarily focus on the meditation. But yeah, I guess that's about it. We're going to wrap things up, and let's find someone to raid. Let's see who is out there today. Who's out there? Oh, Clear Cadence is out there. I have not. I have not. Oh, thank you, Victor. So yeah, totally. I'm always happy to lead a meditation, and I'm always happy if people can get something out of it. Just a little bit more peace and a little bit more joy, and it also increases mindfulness, increases overall well-being. Meditation has been scientifically proven to have wonderful benefits for the body and the mind. So it's cool when something that I can teach from the holistic scene has science to back it up. It gives it. I feel like it gives it a little more credibility than something that doesn't have science to back it up. So it's always neat. Swiss R, you say Sunday is World Mental Health Day. I didn't know that. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. World Mental Health Day. All right. Well, I got to make sure I stream on Sunday then, because that's something that's super important to me. Mental health. I feel like a lot of people in this world, have mental health issues. In fact, when I was in grad school, I was talking with the director of the program. He said 80% of the people in my philosophy program actually had mental health issues, and it's omnipresent. It's everywhere. So we gotta be careful. We gotta help each other out when we find a fellow brother or sister who's having a mental health issue, and try to help them when they can. We're not alone. Basically, anyone who has mental health. I have bipolar, and I've had it a long time. It's difficult to manage, right? Especially because I have chemical sensitivity disorder too, so I can't take anything. So I'm pretty much forced to meditate all the time and do yoga and qigong and practice all sorts of mindfulness techniques in order to not go off the deep end, basically. So that's just how it is for me, and there's a lot of people like that. So let's see. Victor Sori say, yes, and mindfulness can be even more efficacious than cognitive behavioral therapy at treating addiction. There are many forms of addiction in the long run. Yeah, absolutely. Mindfulness is super, super important. And I actually, it's funny that you brought that up. I was in Check Me Out stream the other day, and she was reading a book called The Craving Mind. And in her book, she was talking about, or in The Craving Mind, they talk about different types of therapies, like the gold standard for quitting smoking. They did a test, and they took a bunch of a random sample size of people, and they applied the gold standard to quitting smoking, and then they took a random sample size population and they applied the mindfulness techniques in order to quit smoking. And the groups that did the mindfulness techniques actually had a higher percentage rate of quitting smoking, and they stayed quit longer. And then the group that had the whatever the best psychological gold standard was for trying to help people to quit smoking. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat that mindfulness is that good at helping people battle addiction and get through addiction. Okay, DJ Krishans, you say definitely we'll do readings upon that. Yeah. There's cool. That would be totally. Totally. You should definitely do readings on Sunday and do mental health related stuff. I think that would be cool. Victor Sorry said, if you would like to, we can discuss some of the crossroads of mindfulness and ideas akin to what Wim Hof teaches. Mental toughness, I think, that I found next stream, of course. Yeah, Wim Hof is close to my heart. He's the man. He's a pretty amazing human being as far as I'm concerned. And what a lot of people don't know, I believe his wife died from suicide, if I recall correctly. Is that right, Victor Sor? Maybe you know. I think his wife committed suicide, and that kind of propelled him in the direction that he ended up, in the trajectory that he ended up going. And that can be, suicide of a loved one is one of the most difficult things to deal with, and yeah, it can be a big motivating thing and get people to change whatever trajectory they're on. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I would like to at some point discuss the crossroads of mindfulness and mental toughness. Mental toughness is such a important concept in my mind, and I found that we've kind of, our society, when I say our society, I shouldn't be saying that, I should say Western society has kind of lost the notion of mental toughness a lot. Um, People try to get other people to change the ways they act in order for them to feel better about themselves, but that's not a good approach, because by trying to get the whole world to adapt to you, it's just never going to work in the long run. Sure, you can make a handful of people, of select people, maybe change the ways they speak or communicate, but you're never going to be able to change everyone out there. You're always going to be able to find someone who's going to say something that you find offensive, right? So at the end of the day, I feel it's more important to develop thicker skin, such that whenever they say whatever they're going to say, you don't take offense. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't faze you, right? Imagine that. Imagine walking through the world and not allowing anything that anyone says ever to ever faze you, to ever hurt you in any way, because you're that strong, right? That right there seems like a more intelligent and reasonable approach in trying to get other people to change the things that they say, in order such that you feel more comfortable. Um, let's see. Victor, sorry, you say mental toughness is roughly defined by the capacity to endure in the face of what normally calls us psychologically. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, right? I mean, we don't need to allow ourselves to be negatively affected, by psychological discomfort, whatever the hell that is, right? Whatever triggers us, right? We don't need. We can develop thick skin. We can develop that internal strength, such that we could have someone screaming in our face, and just see nothing but the love and energy, the love and compassion in their true being, right? And it wouldn't even touch us, right? That seems like a better approach, right? Why don't we all just do that? I don't understand why more people don't pursue that path, right? But who knows? Maybe there's some good reasons for it. I don't know. Swiss R, you say, check me out. I was in her Discord waiting in the voice channel for people like you. You were talking to us. It's funny. I hopped in there last week, and I was all excited, and I started talking, and then no one was responding to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I couldn't get my voice, and then I typed something in chat. No one could even hear what I was saying. No one could hear it. My voice wasn't coming through into the Discord, which doesn't make any sense, because my microphone's working. And then I ran the test on Discord, and it said my microphone was working, and it was, and I opened up OBS, and my microphone was working. But for some reason on Discord, in her thing, in her voice channel, I wasn't able to get my microphone to actually work, which was pretty annoying, because I wanted to talk to her, because she's an amazing person, and so is her chat. Her chat is some of the best energy and some of the best people around. I love hanging out with her crew. So yeah, it would be cool. I just don't know if my microphone's gonna work. Victor Story, you say, or even if it does phase you, still deciding to do what is right and maintain your mental composure. Absolutely, right? I mean, there's plenty of times, right, where in life, someone says something and it phases you, and it's like, you want to go with that first instinct, that first fight or flight instinct. But it's a much more wise approach to be able to just let it go, regain your composure, regain your center, and not act rashly, right? Because when we act rashly, that's when we typically get in trouble, right? That's when problems happen in the world, when people act rashly. If we can kind of detach ourselves from the situation and see ourselves from a more third person objective perspective, kind of I like to visualize myself looking down, from above. And then like I see myself, in whatever confrontation me and another person are in. I see the ego dynamics playing out, right? But I'm looking at myself from above. And when you do that, it's like you get this certain level of detachment, right? And you're not as inclined to get engaged in that ego battle. And a lot of times people are just trying to provoke you because they're hurt. A lot of times other people are hurt, and they have their own issues and their own insecurities that they're dealing with, and they're projecting onto you, and they're trying to bait you into a battle. But if you can really see yourself from above, looking down, then you're not going to be fazed by it. It's just going to be like, oh, look at those two human beings. With their ego dynamics. I'm one of those human beings, and I'm going to choose to not allow myself to enter into an ego battle with them, because if you do, you're never going to get anywhere. Nothing's ever solved by getting in those kind of fights. But if you can just choose to look at the person and offer nothing but forgiveness and compassion and kindness towards that person, even when they're full of hate and malice. I mean, that right there is the ultimate goal. For as far as I'm concerned, that's what I strive for. When someone is just someone who hates me, when someone just absolutely is trying to provoke me and just wants me to engage with them in some kind of battle, if I can be at a state where I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart for them, then I feel like I'm doing what it's all about as a human being. Like I'm being the best human being I can possibly be. But that's just my opinion. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, Victor, sort of on Check Me Out. Check Me Out does voice Discord every Friday night. And yeah, she has it set up where the viewers can just jump in onto her Discord, and everyone just chats and they talk. It's pretty awesome actually what she does. But yeah, I haven't been able to get my microphone working, but for that, but I'll get it working eventually. Victor, so you say very wise, Agni. It reminds me of a little known quote by the Buddha. A little known quote by the Buddha. Which one? Do you have it offhand? I'd love to hear it if you do. If not, no big deal. The Buddha's the man. He's one of my biggest role models, right? A lot of those spiritual teachers, the Buddha, Jesus, Gandhi. I mean, they're all just so filled with amazing wisdom, right? And there's a lot of New Age speakers too that have really influenced me a lot, and a lot of philosophers have influenced me a lot. I mean, Kant and Spinoza and Parmenides. I mean, they're just filled with wisdom, right? And it's funny, like a lot of times that wisdom gets lost, in modern day society where everything's so sped up and people are running around super quick trying to make as much money as they possibly can because they think that that's what will fill the void in their heart. But that's the wrong path. Money's never going to make anyone happy in the long term. It'll give you a short-term rush, and then it raises the bar for what you need to be happy. And then you'll be here, and then you'll be bored, and then you'll need more, and then you get more, and then you're temporarily happy, and then you need and then it levels off, and then you need more, and then you just need more and more and more and more, and then eventually it's like $1 billion isn't enough, then $5 billion isn't enough, and it's like what kind of life is that? You're just chasing one desire to the next, and then if for some reason like you maybe lose $1 billion and you only have like I don't know 500 million, all of a sudden it's like boo hoo, your life is like hell, because you set the bar that so high, and you just keep jumping from one thing to the next. People don't typically realize that everything they need to be perfectly happy is already in their hearts. I mean, if people really realize that, if there was like, imagine if marketers came on to like, prime time television and started saying, yeah, it turns out everything we've been trying to sell you for the last 2,000 years is just nothing but bullshit. It's just basically ways for us to get, to us to get richer, and for, you to get poorer, and for you to think that you're lacking, because we create problems and then we create solutions, and we give you those solutions if you buy our product, and yada yada, or buy into our church or religion or whatever. If you buy into that, then you'll finally be happy. You'll finally be able to be perfectly happy and content in your life. What a load of crap, right? What a load of crap. That someone, a few thousand years ago came up with that notion, and then they're like, hey, I can stay in power if we just get people to do this. I can get richer and become more, disgusting if I can just get people to buy my product. So I'm going to market my wares through this marketing, gimmick, through this advertising approach. And by doing so, we'll be able to keep the poor poorer, and make them think that there's nothing they can do to ever be happy except, get money, and then they'll get greedy, but the funny thing is, the joke's on them, because then they're not even happy, because then they need more and more, and they're never going to get it. All right, where are we at here? All right. Oh, here we go. Victor, sorry, it says you found it. I know you have a paraphrased version if you want to hear. Okay. Win falsehood by truth. Win the miserly with generosity. Win anger by non-anger. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful quote. Beautiful quote, Victor Sore. I love it. I love it. There's so much wisdom in that, right? I'm going to read it again. I have to. Win falsehood by truth. Win the miserly with generosity. Win anger by non-anger. Absolutely. And I've had that experience, right? Where someone's like really heated and angry and is looking for a confrontation. And I choose to see nothing but the light and the love within them, like to bypass all that ego, right? And when you do that, you can win them over, right? Sometimes even just with a smile, right? Just by exuding positivity and warmth to them. And then they're just like, you know what, this is silly. Like, why am I fighting here? Like, I like to tell jokes too, and I'll make people laugh. That's something that I like to do, because it's like a great way for people to see the absurdity in ego confrontations and ego battles. And again, am I perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's plenty of times where I fall into the trap. I get baited, and engage in ego battles with other people. And then I'm always like, what the fuck, and then, in retrospect, I'm always like, I can't believe I fell for that shit, right? But then, it's like, what are you going to do? I used to beat myself up a lot for it. I used to be like super like self-critical about it. I'd be like, man, I can't believe with all the mindfulness training I've done in my life, I can't believe I fell into that ego trap. I can't believe I allowed myself to get pissed off, and I would beat myself up, and I'd be so upset about it. And then I realized that was another ego trap on top of it. It was such a joke. So now it's like, when I lose my composure, I'm just like, well, that's pretty ridiculous, Such is life as a human being, There's the human condition for you, I'm still a ridiculous human being, I guess, All right, so where are we at here? You have another one. The intelligent thing for you to do would be never to get angry, be moral in the midst of immorality and falsehood. If you have this skill, you will triumph in any battle. You will remain unassailed. Ooh, that's the larger picture quote. Let me read that again. That's a good one. The intelligent thing for you to do would be never to get angry. Be moral in the midst of immorality and falsehood. If you have this skill, you will triumph in any battle. You will remain unassailed. Yeah, and that reminds me of another quote. There was something about not being empty, because then if someone was shooting arrows at you or something like that, the arrows would just pass right through you, right? You're not going to be filled with ego or whatnot. You give the enemy no place to stick the ego, because you're not going to stick the arrow, because you're not going to allow yourself to be a targeter. So yeah, that kind of goes in that vein too. Oh, it's the second part of the quote. Okay, cool, nice. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap up shop here. We'll talk more next time I stream. I don't know. I've been kind of streaming at weird times and days, not as often as I was for a while, but it's going to change. Life fluctuates, things fluctuate. Sometimes I'll be streaming every day, and sometimes, I might go a week without streaming, right? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do want to raid Clear Cadence. She does art, and art is so important in our world, right? We need art, we need music, and I love raiding artists and musicians. And Clear is just such an awesome, a kind human being, and her streams are always so much fun, and there's always so much positivity there. It's always good to support the arts. So we're gonna raid Clear. Thank you all so much. Oh yeah, and JT, thank you. Yeah, I hope I do have a good time at that Hippie Fest tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. I mean, it's hard to go to a Hippie Fest and not have fun. Namaste.